Blimey, that's amazing.
I did see a guy, actually. I think one of the guys went out on a boat to see this last one, out into the Atlantic to see it. And also another guy went in a plane and timed it so it was in the plane actually almost chasing the shadow, and you can see it across the top of the clouds.
Wow,
which is crazy. I think there's some pictures as well from like satellites that actually show the shadow on the Earth, which is really cool.
So can I just get right in my head then? Obviously, the reason, clearly we know the moon is much, much smaller than the sun.
Yeah.
But the reason it eclipses it is because of perspective, isn't it? In terms of distance. And so...
Yeah, it just happens to be that sort of distance. It is moving away from us really, really slowly.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's perfect.
So even though your head is much, much bigger than a 10-pence piece, if I was to, the distance we are now, if I held a 10-pence piece up at arm's length, it would pretty much eclipse your face.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's what we change, Mick.
Well, I've never seen Steve's wallet, so
you might need a 50p. We use that in astronomy all the time. They talk about like angles and things like that, and we actually use our thumb and fingers to work out angles in the sky and distances, but about sort of arm length, so it all works.
Amazing, is that?
Yeah. So I was in a field watching the eclipse.
Yes,
it was fantastic. I actually used my my iPhone to take some pictures, and I actually got into the local papers as well by fluke as I was there. The beautiful thing of Facebook is, as I was there and it was happening, I was on my own, but I could post it all on Facebook, and then other people joined in, could see it as it was happening. So it's really good to get out there and, you know, everyone can join in and experience these things as they're really happening.
Yeah. And all this stuff happens on the UK Astronomy Facebook page.
Yep. All the blogs.
Amazing. Fantastic. Let's have a bit of music and we'll come back and talk some more.
Bringing people and communities together on SecklowSounds.org.
Your listening station.
He's Martin Clark.
And she's Heather Harrison.
And together we present the Roots Collective here on Secklow Sounds.
Tune in every Friday from 9 p.m. to hear a great selection of blues, folk, jazz, reggae, country,
soul, gospel and Americana. And don't forget there's my gig guide for MK and the surrounding area too.
The Roots Collective on Secklow Sounds, your community radio station.
Supersonic ships at your disposal if you feel so inclined. Well, alright. We're gonna travel faster than light, so do up your overcoat tight and we'll go anywhere you want to decide. Well, alright. Rocket ship, nobody has to be helped, nobody needs to be out of sight. Oh, out of sight, man. Nobody's gonna travel second class of the equality and no suppression of minorities. We'll take this planet, shake it round, turn it upside down. My supersonic rocket ship. supersonic ships at your disposal if you feel so inclined. Alright. Nobody gonna travel second class. There'll be equality and no suppression of minorities. Alright. Let me take you on a little trip. On a supersonic rocket ship.
Welcome back. This is Secklow Sound. Steve Whitten here with UK Astronomy Show. And Ross is with me again. We've been talking about eclipses. We're going to come on and talk about transits and occult. Not the occult, but occult in a bit. But you were just talking a little bit about the last eclipse that you saw.
Yeah,
Ross.
the last one a couple of years
It
ago.
might have been the first one you
It was
saw.
the first one I saw, yeah.
Right.
I've never seen anything like it before. And so I thought, I've got to do it. I think I might have even taken a day off. I can't remember. And I the whole day was mine. I dropped the wife off to work, grabbed the car, so I had it all day. And I just went and sat in the field and watched the sun.
Fantastic.
And yeah, it was really, really good. It was really bizarre because I was at, I've got to do a shout out to Emberton Sports and Social Club.
Yeah.
In Olney. Well, I'm not allowed to say Olney. I don't like Olney because they're slightly to the side of it. So Emberton.
Right.
And
Near
bless
Olney.
them, yeah. As I was out there watching it, and as the moon drifted across, it started getting dimmer, the light, and it actually got quite cold, which is bizarre. I mean, it's going to because it's blocking out a lot of the heat from the
of course,
sun.
yeah.
But you don't really realise how much of an effect, if something stayed there, it could change Earth's climate forever. And to feel it go across and then get cold and put a jumper on it, and bless them, they saw me out there and they came up and got me a coffee and a bit of cake. And, had a little look themselves and said, thank you so much. And then that's really where UK Astronomy started.
Right.
Because from that, they then invited me in, had a chat, and asked me to do some presentations there.
Fantastic.
And then here we are today.
Yeah.
So it's thanks to the eclipse and them that we're here talking on a radio show. So
Well, it's quite bizarre, actually, I suppose, because I suppose in ancient times they may well have believed that an eclipse was the start of some new things anyway. wouldn't
yeah,
they? So,
or the end. I think the Aztecs used to sacrifice people, didn't they?
They did, I think.
To eclipses.
Did you notice when the sun was partially... This was a solar eclipse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When the sun was partially obscured by the moon. Did the birds, stop singing?
Yeah, it was really... I always say it was really bizarre, I think is the word, because everything went quiet. It was silent, it went cold, it went dim, and you're kind of feel like you're in another world for a moment. You're kind of sitting there thinking, oh, I don't like
Spooky,
it.
isn't it? Yeah.
Your instincts kind of say, oh, I don't like this. Like your animal instincts, oh, I don't like this maybe. And everyone was quiet. Even I was quiet. It's strange. And it's almost like you're watching it. And then as it slowly starts drifting back and you get the warmth on you again, you then go, oh, thank God for that.
We're back to normal.
Yeah.
So, something else I found was I saw probably the same one, but I noticed I was in my back garden and we've got lots of trees. I noticed the shadows of the leaves were elliptical shaped, which was really odd. So if people see a partial eclipse, look out for that. Shadows look a bit weird as well.
Cool.
Wow.
Have to wait till the next
They
one.
always did. It was a bit before my time, that.
The shadow.
The shadows. It was that silly little dark... Oh, you weren't talking about that. Was sort of...
No.
Oh, well, there you go. There's a song for the next bit.
I remember there was an eclipse in 1999, wasn't there?
Yes, I think that's probably the one I saw.
Right.
Was that the one at Cornwall? Did people
No,
know? There was
I
one,
think it was a
didn't they? I
total
remember.
eclipse over the UK, wasn't
Oh,
it?
that was the one. That's the one in Cornwall.
Yeah, there was one where
total
everyone went to Cornwall and they did it.
Yeah. There was one after that, which was a partial.
Right. Because I remember that. I remember, again, standing in our garden thinking, all the birds have gone quiet, and it was bizarre. It was really odd.
That must have been, in my old house it was, and I've been in my new house for 14 years, so it must have been around about that time, I suppose.
99, I was sure
could have
it
been.
was.
Yeah, could have been.
So why do you think the birds go quiet then? Because you said about animal instinct. Do you think it's just that they suddenly go, oh, hang on, it's become night again?
They think it's getting dark and night, so they all kind of start nesting in, and then about an hour or so later, then they suddenly go, oh, hang on.
Well, what was that about?
Hang on a minute.
It's messing with their wiring, isn't it?
Which is strange because they don't do it when it gets cloudy.
Right.
So there must be something there which kind of, it must get darker than actually all instincts just tells them to bed in.
Wow. Fantastic.
I suppose it blocks it because it's the moon.
Yeah.
It's going to block certain radiation that the clouds won't block.
Yeah.
Their brains, as we know with homing pigeons, they can pick up the magnetic resonating
Yeah.
Earth fields and all that, which we can't pick up. So maybe it's something like that, where the moon is actually blocking something out.
We were talking about hedgehogs, weren't we? Hedgehogs with
Hedgehogs and
UV light.
ultraviolet light, yeah.
Yeah, one of the other shows.
And in our next show, we're going to talk about radio bursts.
We are.
If I remember
Yeah.
rightly.
Or it
Wow,
might
so-
be the show before, depending whoever you put it. We never
There's
know.
a thought. Mess with everyone
Or when
else's
people
wiring.
listen.
So what we did there, if we can move on, is we made a little bit of a transit, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
From one subject to the next and into what are you sniggering at, mate? Meteor Mick. So, Ross, talk to us about transits then. Where are we at and what's happening?
Well, transits are different, aren't they? Transits, it's not different. It's kind of the same. Something's moving in front of the sun. But because it's, for some reason, the moon blocks it out. But if it's something like a planet, so like Mercury did it earlier this year and Venus did it a while back, it doesn't count as an eclipse because it doesn't do anything. So what they do is they transit. So they just pretty much go in front of the sun, which is a great opportunity for us with the right equipment to be able to see the two planets, Mercury and Venus, because they're the only ones that actually go in between us and the sun. So the others we won't see do it. They see us do it. So yeah, they're the only ones you can see. But for some reason, all you see is like a little black dot going across in a certain way. And I managed to see it this year.
Yeah, I
talked
came
about
with
it,
you,
didn't
didn't I? Come in.
Yeah, you did, yeah. You popped by and had a look.
Yeah.
You went, is that it? A little black dot. I was like, give it an hour, it'll move.
It was still a little black dot. It was just further over.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what a transit is. So it's pretty much something going. Jupiter itself has quite a lot of transits, you wouldn't realise, because it's got 4 moons, and each of its moons sometimes go in front of the planet itself and will put little black shadows of those moons onto the planet's surface.
Wow.
So you have transits there as well. So if you've got a scope, have a look at Jupiter.
Fantastic. Well, do you know what? He's mentioned shadows a few times there, Meteor Mick. I think there's only one thing for it.
Bit of Cliff Richards.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Meteor Mick. That was excellent. Welcome back. This is Steve Whitten on Secklow Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes. We're at our next UK astronomy show here with Ross. We've been talking about eclipses, transits. We're going to come on to talk about the occult. But just before we had not the occult,